Hi everyone, this is the Due Parenting Podcast. My name is Ibrahim Suleiman.
And my name is Ejiofor Suleiman.
And we have our friends here. I love it. See, that's why they're here.
Welcome to Due Parenting Pod.
Hi everyone, welcome to another nice, sweet, exciting episode of the Due Parenting Podcast. This is our second season and we're super excited about it. My name is Ibrahim Suleiman.
And my name is Ejiofor Suleiman.
And we are here to talk about...
Keon. Keon is our motivation for having this podcast.
1 second. Go ahead, I'm listening to you.
How can I talk when your hand's on my face? So cute, baby.
Okay, everybody, turn off the cameras, baby. Come, I want to talk to you outside.
Anyway, so you were there. Like, I want to share with people how Keon has gotten to this stage when if he's in the mood, he would love to take pictures. In fact, he would take your phone.
Oh, he takes really good pictures, by the way.
He would take your phone and start taking pictures. He even knows the different filters.
Yeah.
Keon can swipe to black and white, like the one that has one round thing, and you be inside, and he'll tell you, say cheese. So we do all this. I encourage him to just try out.
She's actually doing a great job.
So I'll give him my phone. I'm like, take pictures, do videos, and he will start making a video from his feet, go up to the.
My man pans.
He pans. I have pictures of and videos on my phone with just blank walls. A lot of blank walls. So I let him. Then when he's done, I take my phone and I select every and delete. But at times started going.
Yes,
I started selecting the ones that he did. It was cute. And I'll be like, oh yeah. So I also encouraged him that we should take pictures together so that he won't be shy to do cheese and 2 fingers in the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's his
He
thing.
just pose to the side and just do 2 fingers in the air. So on this particular morning, when I do this ritual. Ibra and I do this ritual where every morning before he goes to school, we try to take pictures of him. Mm-hmm. And when we are picking him up from school, so that we can see his different reactions and how he reacts to whoever picks him up from school. I'm sure with the way I'm slanting to the side and blinking and batting my eyes, you know that I'm the one winning at this already.
So wait first. Let's not be hasty in calling, who is winning and who's not winning. So the truth of the matter is...
What truth of the matter?
Settle down. When I used to... So there was a period of time where I think you're shooting Covenant. Yes, it was Covenant. So when you was filming Covenant, I was doing most of the drop-offs and pickups, right? And he was super excited to see me every time. Da-da! And then he's running and everything. And then, talking a mile a minute. And it was great, right? And then Mama finished shooting Covenant. And then, so we went back to alternating who picks up and who drops off and all of that. And I noticed that there was a change. Now, the worst one that has happened so far was like sometime last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, when she had gone to pick him up from school like 3 days in a row. And then on this day, I went to pick him up, right? So I was super excited because,
I love this story.
You're lucky that I love you. So I show up and, I sign in, they do the checks, then I go to the waiting area and I'm waiting for Keon, right? So I hear him before I see him. So he's blah, 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 blah. So I whip up my phone and just like targeted at the door. So I can hear him talking to his teacher, yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. And then the door swings open and then he comes in and then he sees me. Then he's like, oh, it's Dada. Where's Mama? And then everybody there just turns and looks at me like, ooh. You know how in my mind I'm like, what? It's just past 2 in the afternoon. You can spend like 4 more hours. I was tempted to say, what? I forgot something at the studio. I have to go back and come. Let him stay in that school and appreciate the fact that I braved traffic to come and get him. Picked this boy up. Throughout the ride, he kept asking, where's Mama? Where's Mama? Mama didn't come get Keon today. I was just like, what? When you're done, I'll just... And then we go home and guess who was already back home? Mama. And then she's there. We open the door and as soon as we go into the house, Mama! Wow. Misha, I've made up my mind.
What about the second time both of us went to pick him up? Say that story.
I think I want to go home.
Okay, I will say the story. So this particular day, after Ibro had happened, we wrapped from work like at about 1:30 to 2. So we decided, okay, on our way home, let's just pick Keon up from school. And Ibro said, okay, yeah, sure. So we drive into the school. I come down, and the next thing I turned around, I hear the car door closing, and I turned around, and Ibro is coming down. I'm like, you're coming down? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay, let's go.
It was not a wise decision. Anyway.
So you would have just waited in the car because you'd have been so excited to see.
Carry on.
Okay, as I was saying. So we walked into the school, and there's a register where you have to sign in and say you're who comes to pick up Keon, your child and all that. So I was about to do that. Ibro said, oh, don't worry, I'll do that. Just go into the reception and sit down and wait that he would come. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I go in there to sit down and wait, and Ibro signed. So I was waiting for him to come back out. And I waited and waited. I'm like, something just said, go, because you can't go into his class to pick him up. They have to bring him out. I think, and I love it, security reasons. So I'm like, okay, I waited and Ibro had not come into the reception to sit down. Something said, just go outside and check. And I go outside and I see Ibro standing there where Keon can see him as soon as he walks.
That's
down
not why I was standing
aisle.
there. But I forgive you. Carry on.
I called it aisle.
Yeah, I heard you. Aisle.
Okay,
Yeah.
So Keon can see him first. So I'm like, oh, you want him to see you first? He said, yes, please, I should wait to decide. And the way he said it, like...
No, I did that, to give the young man a surprise. Like, oh, okay, so the necessary has come to get you, but the desired is also here. Little did I know that it was going to even... Guy, I'm sorry.
So, Ibro, Keon was working, and from Ibro's talk
POV.
from... Yeah, POV, talk from point of view.
So I see him, right? And he seemed pretty happy to see me. So he waves, and then he's still talking to his
because they
teacher.
can't run.
And they're not allowed to run on the corridors. So he waves and then, and then he starts walking towards me and then he says something to his teacher. And I'm really happy to see him, And he comes to me and then he's happy to see me. Wait, settle down. He's happy to see me. He gives me a big hug.
Maybe
right?
he had not given you the hug.
Damn it.
He hadn't given Ibro the hug. He was just like, Dada. Then he was like, he just turned. Mama, there you are. He just turned. He did. Ibro's hands were like that, and Ibro was stooping down.
My armpits were just collecting air because my arms were up for the hug. Like I'd actually, because usually I would go down on one knee and then give him a hug, right? I'd gotten down one knee. My hands were up for the hug, for him to come into the hug and just fresh breeze. My guy just, I was just there, armpits aired.
And I went. Who?
Why didn't you catch this on camera?
I totally forgot. But it was
because my Lord and Savior
it was my best
was
day
on my
of
side.
my life. I will do it again. Don't worry, I will do it again.
No, the next time you and I go and pick him up together, and he sees me
Maybe
for
just do it.
I go just do like this.
Maybe just do it for the viewers and the listeners so
This
that
I'm
they
just
can
going to
see
be
that
when
I'm
he's
not
coming to
lying.
win. Hi, Dada. So,
You can't.
me.
You can't.
You don't know me hard. I'm street though. I'm a hard guy. Anyway, carry on.
Anyway, that's what happened. And Ibro did not hear the last of it because I kept going on.
You are still going on and on.
And I wanted to just share it with my family.
Are you happy that you have,
very
shared
happy.
this with your family?
There are other ones to come. I will let you people know. Not only, he looks like his father, but he loves me. Anyway, so back to pictures. So this particular day, Keon was going to school. I decided, okay, you know what? Let me take a picture of him. And he had woken up and said he didn't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. I want to stay at home with Tutu, with Mama, with Dada.
He always mentions my name last, by the way.
I want to sleep. Somebody that you will beg at night to go to bed. In the morning, he wants to sleep. Fake.
Really? My friend, come on, go and
Fake.
brush
And he
your
will
teeth
not
and
do
take
like-
a bath.
I'm like, Uncle, stand up. So he had gotten dressed and I wanted to take a picture. So I now said, all right, Keon, let's take a picture. I should have listened though, because at first he said no. I'm like, please. I now brought out my phone, turned on the camera. Keon, let's take a picture. All right, say cheese. No. please, please, cheese. Say cheese again. That's enough.
Like he actually just looked at me and said, "That's okay.
Enough.
That's enough."
That's enough. I'm like,
And that was it. He was done.
No, but I begged for another because I'm like, how can I bring out my camera and there's no cheese?
Well, guess what happened?
Smile for mama.
Guess what happened? He let me take a picture of him.
When you went to drop him.
Yes. As in, he was all smiles. Took a nice picture. So sometimes, what is he? I don't need to explain. I get evidence. I will show. I can't show him in his uniform.
No, it wasn't his uniform. Remember,
It's true. It was Mufti Day.
Mufti.
It was
Fridays.
No, it was this thing. It was
Summer
school. It's true. I get evidence. I shall show you the evidence. Ibro wins one at last. Carry on.
Anyway, so that happened, and that was when we've always known that Keon has.
He's strong-willed.
Yeah, he's strong-willed.
Very
He
strong-willed.
has his own voice. That's when I realized that he does.
Especially if it's not something like that he knows he's supposed to do. If he knows that it's something that is not an obligation, it's like it's optional. If he doesn't want to do it, you can't force him. He will not do it.
He will not do it.
As in, you cannot.
I don't know if that's a good thing or
It's an awesome thing.
really.
For me, it signifies that he already understands that he has agency. He already understands that he's an autonomous human being and he can make his own decisions. So I think that on that note, at least we can give ourselves a good score for how we're doing. Because for a lot of people, it takes a while before they get to the stage where they know that, okay, if this isn't like, he knows that he doesn't have an option, he has to go to school. So he will whine about it, but he will go to school.
Yeah.
But he knows that he doesn't have to take a picture or say hi to someone that he doesn't know or doesn't feel like saying hi to simply because we say he should. You understand? So,
Yeah. Okay.
did you want to say something?
Yeah, but he's also going to be able to communicate to you guys when somebody is asking him to do something that he doesn't want
to do.
It's really a good thing that is being recognized and not being forced. You are not taking it away from him because I was one of those children that, according to my mom, that was very opinionated and strong-willed, but
You still are.
I like the way she said was.
You still are.
I brought it back as an adult.
Oh, okay.
Like, community will subdue you into
Fair.
not having opinions
Yeah.
about things. So my mom was always saying that now that you are very opinionated and strong, like I'm not shocked. I've always been like that, but around you, people will be like, "Oh, you have a shut up, you're a child."
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
understand? So it's really, I love that video.
That's enough.
That's enough.
I love it so much.
It's under here.
Oh, no.
This mics.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You want to say something?
No, in case.
Okay. Yeah. I think everybody enjoyed where he was giving me a show. That's enough.
That's enough. I loved it.
Then let's talk about his. Yeah, I know we mentioned it in the previous episode, but his first day at school and how Keon is popular in school.
He's so popular. Like,
Yeah.
people, most of my adult life, I've been pretty well known, right? For different reasons. So I'm used to going, somewhere and people saying, baby, come on.
Stop. Concentrate.
Okay, my bad. So I'm used to going, out and about and people going, oh, Ibrahim Suleiman or Captain Quest or Edumalo and whatever. So I'm used to, after a while, it no longer, feels like a thing, right? But now, for the first time in my life, I go somewhere and people refer to me as somebody in reference
Keon's
to
dad.
yeah. People just say, "Oh, you're Keon's dad," and I'm like, "Hold up!" Like these are people that, after a while when you're having conversations and then because you meet other parents and stuff, when you start to talk to them, they say, "Oh, they see you on TV," but after a while, because of how much Keon's name popped up in their homes, they stop referring to you as Ibrahim Suleiman that they see on TV. You are now just Keon's father. You are now that guy that is related to the guy that they know. So he's like super popular, like older kids in primary section. When he's going home, they're like, bye Keon, bye
Bye,
Keon.
Keon, bye, Keon. And they'll
And then-
run and come and hold his hands.
And-
Oh, hi, bye,
and,
Keon. And
he's
Keon
just
like,
bye, bye.
bye,
Uh,
bye.
And I'm just like,
And maybe when I'm signing out, some of them will come and meet me. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm like, hi, good afternoon. He said, you're Keon's mom. I'm saying, yes, I'm Keon's mom. okay. I'm like,
Yeah, Keon's mom. After all despite your long,
my 16 years in the industry.
hard career of working your socks off.
Oh.
Look at you, you're just
Keon's
Keon's mom. And it's going to
let's
get worse, most
let's
likely.
not even talk about when we go to when I go to the supermarket or places. I'm like, oh hi, it's Keon.
People don't ask. Before, when I go somewhere and they see me, they're like, how's your lovely wife? Secondary. How's Keon? Then your lovely wife. They don't. Then when they see her, sometimes they don't even ask after her husband.
No, they do.
Thank you for saying this. I really appreciate this.
They say, how's Keon and how's your lovely, handsome husband?
Stop it.
Please.
It's people.
Please. That's why I don't tell you because
Wow, fam, really?
This.
But it's true. I feel you. The head do swell sometimes. The head do swell.
So anyway, yeah, Keon started school. He at first he hated school. Hated. Always crying, wailing. Then we're like that parent. Wait. Like, Keon is okay. Sometimes I'll just drop him and get back into the car and run. They'll just take him. Because at first I was always trying to pet him. My heart was broken. And I'll say, okay, please, can I just take him to class? They'll say, no, we don't allow any parent to cross this place. But now he's like, let's go.
Yeah.
When they resumed school, and I told you this, when we resumed and we were on our way, we were like, he had this new wristwatch and he was wearing it. We were like, Mama, look, it's 7:15. 7:16. Let's go. So we got to in front of the school and there was huge traffic because it's the first day of school and cars were just waiting to drop kids off. And Keon was sitting down there in the middle of the car, just waiting. Mama, what's happening? I'm like, oh, they're dropping people off, so we have to wait our turn before we drive in. Okay. Like 10 minutes, maybe the thing I said was not even... He just called our driver. Mr. Obi, what's happening? Mr. Obi now said, we are driving. We are going. So he got there. He jumped down. Mama, see you later. Mwah. I'm like, okay. Mwah. Then he left. It was rosy and sweet for the first 3 days.
And then one day my guy's like,
Uncle said, I don't want to go to school. I started getting worried. I'm like, is he getting bullied in school? Doesn't he like the teacher? Because they changed. New
session.
Yeah, it's a new session and they've changed teachers. Like, what's going on? So I had to call the school because I didn't like the fact that on Thursday and Friday, he kept crying that he didn't want to go to school. So I called and I'm like, what's going on? Is it that he doesn't like school? Does he cry throughout in school? And the teacher said, I shouldn't worry, that it's just him trying to find out if I would let him stay at home. That as soon as he sees other students and they're at assembly, he's back to normal.
Back to normal.
He's back. He's smiling. He's waving at people. And he's okay. In school, he interacts. He plays. He does everything. Once it's number time, he's the first screaming numbers down, then building blocks, that he participates in everything, which I am so happy for. Then once I pick him up, I'm like, okay, say bye-bye. I try to make him do where he says bye-bye to his teachers who are standing by the entrance and say, okay, see you later, see you tomorrow. So the next day, I dialogue with him when he starts saying, I do not want to go to school.
You should hear their preschool conversations. Me, I'm just usually there like, because she's negotiating with him. She's pep talking him. And my guy is just there like, yeah, I hear you. But I would very much prefer if I just stayed at home and played.
So I have to talk to him and tell him, oh, don't you want to see friends?
And she reminds him
don't you want to see your teacher? Don't you want to play numbers? So I encourage him and I tell him all these things so that he's gingered to go to school. And sometimes it helps. Most
of the time it helps.
Yeah, last year what myself and Keon used to do was when he starts saying, I don't want to go to school, I said, oh, do you want us to count numbers? Because I know he loves numbers. So we'll count numbers. One, maybe sometimes we'll land at 216 when we get to school. So he enjoys that because I'm interacting with him. Then when I pick him up from school, and it happens to be me who picks him up if Ibro is working, we'll count backwards from 216.
Wherever you stopped, back to one.
So he enjoys that. But this time it's pep talk.
Yeah.
Go and see friends.
Negotiate.
So now he's starting to know all his classmates' names. So I asked him, what are the names of your classmates? And he would say, oh, call their names. I'm like, okay. And they're mostly girls.
My boy only remembered the first day he came back. It was only the names of the girls he remembered. And this one was just smiling happily. I said, look at you.
My boy is a good boy.
My guy is starting off. But,
So,
I'm just really glad that, the things that, for me, a lot of the things that I was worried about in terms of how he responds in public because at home, the noise levels are pretty constant. The people that are around, that are moving around, are pretty constant. There are no crowds, there are no sudden, loud noises.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty stable, And then when he's out and about, there's a lot of, stimulation. There's a lot going on. There's traffic. There are horns. There are people, making noise. There are a lot of people moving around. There are colors. There's a lot of stimulation, But I'm really glad that he's not overwhelmed by these things, because it's very easy for that to happen to young, to kids. So that was super encouraging. So we now thought that it would probably be a good idea that, because our earlier conversations were like, he's not getting on the plane, not doing any long distance trips until he's 5. So my younger brother was getting married. And we're like, you know what? I didn't want to go alone. We didn't want to, leave him and go. We just felt like, you know what? He's 3. I'm sure he can handle it. No, it was almost his birthday. It was like a few days before his birthday. We're like, you know what? He's almost 3. We're sure that he can handle it. He goes to school, he comes back, he's fine. Let's see what it would be like to go on a trip with the guy.
And he has always been, he mentions the various means of transportation. So he's always calling airplane. So like he wants to get on the airplane. I'm like, okay, let's try it out. So we made the necessary arrangements, bought him headphones. We Googled to find out what we should get for kids who are flying for the first time. Headphones that have noise cancellation so that it would. Oh, thank you to our friends who bought headphones with Fifi.
Yeah, that's true.
We love he has 3 headphones now. We bought one. Fifi got us one. Kofi, our Igwe, got us one. So he has 3 headphones, which he's not going to use all 3. His sibling will keep one for him by God's grace.
Such a Nigerian mother behavior.
Please, and please.
So what if the 2? No, don't worry. By God's grace, fingers crossed. When Zin wants to say, I knew it. No. This is not.
Okay. If it's an announcement, and we are shooting we are shooting a season by then, you will hear it here first. You won't hear it anywhere else. That I promise you.
I'm sure that you put it on Instagram first.
No.
Let's bet.
Here first.
Let's bet now, young lady. Paycheck.
What paycheck?
Regardless of
whose
the
paycheck?
amount, the next paycheck after you do it.
My friend, shove it up your ass. Anyway, so we bought noise cancellations, headphones. We bought. We made sure we downloaded games on his tab and our phones. Took toys with us that he would just distract him. Had snacks. We Googled. So
we're ready.
So we had to take his measurement for an outfit, and his father wanted him to do encore with him. I'm like, I'm so jealous.
This one just wants to have a girl next because she wants to be able to play dress up. Misha, let me just tell everybody, I honestly, because I have nieces, right? I used to, well, technically they're not my nieces, they're my second cousins. My cousins who are much older than me started having kids, when I was still like a teenager and everything. So I used to do a lot of babysitting, and for some reason, most of the children were girls. And I think there was just one boy. There was just one boy, and there were like 4 girls from 2 of my cousins. And my nieces used to get away with everything. Like my nephew, whenever he did anything or I needed him to do something, I could be firm. I would be like, no, don't do that. Come here. Let's, and I would use a tone. He would get it. I could be firm. The young ladies, on the other hand, when I need them to do something, I'm like, oh, it's okay. You don't have to. I just give them whatever they want and, make sure they're happy and playful. Him, I could be like, no, don't do.
Which you're doing with Keon right now.
Which I'm doing with Keon right now, right? It's hard. It's harder. It's harder when it's your own child, but, let's move on. Now, I'm worried that this one has my mumu button. Keon really
this is
has
another
my
topic.
button.
This is
Yes,
another
I just
topic.
want to outline this. And I'm seriously worried that if I get a baby girl next, Oton, I'm finished. I'm a finished man.
I don't want to say what I'm thinking of saying.
Okay.
So when we are in
We'll have that conversation.
okay, I will say it.
I know what you want to say.
But-
We've talked about it privately, but it's fine. Because, hey, God.
So anyway, yeah. So we planned all that and time to buy tickets.
So, tickets. Yes. So, parents, this is what you need to know. If you haven't gone on if you haven't
Trip.
done a trip with the little humans yet. Good thing is, after a certain age, you have to. From a certain, I think until they're about 2. You can
Because
fly
it was
without
two- it
wait.
was
You can
two-
fly without wait. You can fly without identification, right? But once there are 2, the baby has to have identity, and you have to buy a seat for the child, right? So there's that, and then depending on the airline, it's between 50 and 60% off an adult seat. And then if you're buying business class tickets, it comes down even further. But, that's like seriously offset by the fact that, you're buying adult seats for the parents anyway. So if you do the math, it's not really a lot in terms of difference. Let me see, what else do you need to know?
Considering that airline ticket now has gone up. It
It's
didn't used to
crazy.
be this expensive. So
Crazy. So
I wish our roads were safe.
I do wish that our roads were safe too. But there's no way I was going to make a trip by road.
That's road trip, man.
Baby.
Put your hands out in the windows and
And then by the time you put your arms back in, there's part of it missing.
which have
You put your whole arm out, when you pull it back inside, you're just like, oh, okay.
it's not that bad.
Listen,
That's why I said I wish our roads were safe.
look, the reason why I say that there's no way I'm going to do a road trip for that long anymore is because when I was younger, when I was in uni, I was part of a youth fellowship called YWAP, Youth with a Purpose. And I was head of the dance department called Soul Quest, right? And we used to go from campus to campus every other weekend doing shows, right? And we used to go by road, of course, because we're all students. And we'll get into a coaster bus and drive from ABU Zaria to wherever we're going to in this country. I don't think there's any federal university I haven't done a show at in this country, right? So I just feel like I am all road tripped out.
Okay.
Yes.
I totally get where you're coming from, but from where I'm coming from, I did road trip with my parents. And it was so much fun. It was stressful. Thinking back now, it was stressful for my mom and my dad, but it was fun for the kids. My mom would wake up very early and cook.
Fry everything.
What?
Yeah.
Coolers. Rice. You.
So yeah,
Kenny.
I think we all had that.
Yeah, cooler. It's like you're going picnic. You're going to have a picnic. Cooler of rice, cooler of stew with meat. Then another cooler filled with ice and drinks.
So
You know, right?
so you know.
So we now no, babe. Listen, it was so much fun because we would drive until we get to Ore, and we're driving all the way to Abia State from Lagos to Abia, and were roads good then? Yes.
They were better. They were
the
much
roads
better
were
than,
better
yeah, they were
then.
much better.
At least if we leave very early, like say 6 o'clock, we're sure to get home at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Your best part was when you stop at Ore.
Oh my goodness!
Because of food.
Stop at Ore, but it's not. We'll now sit in our car. My mom will now open the boots, bring our plates, pack all the food. You just sit down there and be eating. First of all, we did not. The good thing is we did not do any house chores. We're
For the
driving-
day, for the whole day.
We're driving, we're sleeping, we're singing in the car to keep our father company, our mom laughing and listening to us sing. Then wake up, we're at Ore. We'll now go around, stroll, buy banana, buy granules, buy fruit, buy plantain, put in the car.
Who was driving?
My dad,
All the way.
all the way, he loved to drive. So he was driving. We didn't have a driver then. So we drive, we enjoy it. Then we now get home. Now it So it was
Look,
fun.
I don't know anybody in this world who gets as excited over food as this person.
My mom had a restaurant. What do you think? It's so surprising that I didn't add weight.
Fair.
Yeah.
But goodness. Okay, we've had that conversation.
Yeah.
But man,
I love food.
you love food.
I know. Good food.
You love food.
I love to
Almost-
cook.
Yeah, you love to cook. You love to cook. Almost as much. You love food almost as much as you love sleep. It's close. It's close.
Yeah.